What's going on, journalist family? Irvin, Felix Sean with the Fitness Journals, where I provide education, entertainment, and authenticity to the calisthenics game. Half of the world on track to be overweight or obese by 2035. Now, this one we're not really getting too much into the science. This is just really bringing a little bit more awareness and having a discussion about how we're getting here and why we're getting here. And I don't think it's too far-fetched to think of 10 ways that we're perpetuating this title here of half of the population being overweight by 2035. Now, the accuracy, it could be debated. Obviously, we look at the sources, but we just look at where we're at right now, right? And it's not hard to believe at all. Now, let me go ahead and read the description here. More than half of the world's population will be obese or overweight by 2035, according to a new report from the World Obesity Federation. In 2023, World Obesity Atlas report, the organization projected that 51% of the global population will be living with overweight and obesity within 12 years if prevention, treatment, and support do not improve. Now, by my own definition, what is obesity? Now, basically what it is carrying an excessive amount of body fat on your frame that is detrimental to your health, both in acute and chronic perspective, so short-term and long-term, right? And just looking at the number one cause of death, heart disease, right? A lot of this is preventative, right? It can be prevented. And I think, social media, friend groups, a lot of things like that make you feel okay with not taking responsibility for your health, right? We're living in a world where it's like, okay, look, because I'm not willing, not that you're not capable, I'm not willing to take steps in the direction of taking care of my health. Like, it doesn't have to be working out 5 times a week and 2 hours a day, even an hour a day. It's not even about that. It's making the intent. Like, I am intending to take care of my health, and for that reason I'm going to learn what is necessary to get rid of this excess body fat. Not be like, look, I can't really dedicate my time to something so strenuous, so I'm gonna try and get society to accept me for who I am. No, if you really care about yourself and you want to be if you want to put yourself first, take care of yourself, right? And like I said, we're living in a world where you can't really say things to people without getting canceled, no matter how much truth is behind it. And the fact of the matter is, being obese is not healthy. It doesn't matter how you cut it. It doesn't matter how you feel when it's just a fact, right? The science does not change. It has not changed. I'm not going to say it does not change. Science, more information is always found on a daily basis for all these scientists who are studying these things. And the fact of the matter, as it relates to obesity, that has not changed, right? I'm seeing these things pop up. I think I saw something the other day where it's like being fat is healthy or something like that. They're trying to spin it that way, and that's just not true. Now, don't get it wrong, being excessively shredded, having no body fat, that's not healthy either, right? Being shredded is just like a controlled form of starving yourself. You cannot maintain an extremely lean physique for long periods of time. It's not healthy for your bodily functions, especially for women. Being extremely shredded is not something that you want to try and maintain. That's just not healthy. Guys as well, you don't want to maintain a super lean physique. Like you said, social media causes a lot of people to believe that, you know, you see all these athletes doing their thing and it's like, man, I'm not fit if I don't look like that, if I'm not performing like that. No. If whatever job you do, if you're very good at it, you will not expect someone who does not do that job to come and do very well at it, right? Being a full-time athlete, if they're not looking that way, then they're not very good at their job. That makes sense. So, yes, getting motivation, inspiration, and all that, watching people on social media, cool, but don't set that unrealistic standard of what it means to be healthy because you see your favorite influencer doing super crazy things, eating a super strict, crazy diet. That's their job. Remember that. That's their job. So with that being said, right, what things, because it's important, and this shows the intent of someone who's telling you, you know, okay, if you're obese, stop being fat. It's like, okay, well, if you're really looking out for me, explain to me what I got to do, right? And it's not super complicated. Now, always, before diving into any sort of structured program, talk to your doctor, see what your doctor's saying, your health provider, get insight on what you're really dealing with, get blood work. So the clearer the picture, the easier it is to create an approach that will get you the results that you want to see. And not just quick results, long-lasting results. Because it's very easy to get quick results. But typically, if it's easy, it's not long-lasting. And if it's long-lasting, it's typically not easy. The runway is a little bit longer. It takes a while to kind of get off the ground, but that's where you really see that sustainability. So number one, right? The problem is a lot of people are doing what is not in alignment with their goals. They're doing those things more often. So drinking that you know, gallon of coffee or soft drink or whatever it is, eating a bunch of donuts, eating snacks and everything like that, doing all that stuff way more often. And the things that aren't, because their goal is to, I want to get down on my weight, I want to cut body fat. That's not in alignment. If you're doing all that, that's not in alignment, right? In relation, they're not eating enough fiber, you know, they're not drinking sufficient water, they're not eating high nutrient density foods. You know, you could eat the things that you enjoy. It's the fact of the matter is people are doing the things that they enjoy way more than the things that are actually beneficial. It's about the balance. So with the track record and the lack of education that is being promoted, I see this statistic coming into fruition, unfortunately, but we're kind of almost there already, right? I believe, 60% of the population of America, I believe, what is it? I don't remember. I don't want to say numbers that I don't remember. I could be right. I just don't want to say that right now and then be wrong, because I don't want to, that would be like hypocritical of me to like talk about stuff I don't like, right? Or people spewing stuff and then there is no actual data to back it up. But it's something like that. It's a high number of the percentage of people who are overweight, and then 40% or something like that who are obese. So that's why I'm saying this number of the population being like, we're already, like, this number is not far off. It sounds like half the population, we're basically already there, right? So let me just look here, population. But like I said, look, the thing that where we're going wrong, I'll look that up later. If anything, someone could fact check that. I'll put it in the comment sections or something like that after this. But the number is around that, like 60% of America is like overweight, and then 40% are obese. It's something around that ballpark, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll check that. Let's fact check that and make sure it's correct. So the diet that's like the main thing, right? And if you were to clean up your diet just a little bit and didn't even start exercising, you would see a significant change. If you started drinking more water, you drinking more water, you started drinking more water, eating your fruits and your veggies, balancing that out, you would see a significant change without even doing exercise. Now, exercise is super important for multiple reasons other than, having a physique. That muscles and all of that, that's a bonus. And once again, the studies show you're stronger, you live longer, you're healthier, overall. Quality of life is improved. I know people could beg the case and say, there's this person who smoked, drank every day, and they lived to be 103. Quality of life, that's not typical for the average person. You try doing that, promote that to all your friends to smoke and drink every day, and see if you live, that your quality of life is great and you live to 103. It's not likely. So what can you actually do? What can you actually do to not fall into this statistic, right? Being overweight, obese. How can you curb that number, right? High nutrient density foods. Just add some more color to your plate, right? Make a green smoothie. Wake up in the morning, put some spinach, just your general green vegetables. If you don't like to eat it, put that in a blender. Put some fruits, some berries, stuff like that in a blender. If you need some recipes, I got you. I got hundreds of smoothie recipes I can provide you with. So if you're like, I don't know what to make and I don't know what nutrients I need to put in, I got you there. But the point I'm trying to make is smoothies, right? Anti-inflammatories. I'm looking at my tea. I drink my tea every morning. Anti-inflammatories, turmeric, ginger. Drink those things. We want to work from the inside out, right? And that's why I'm talking about, don't pay so much attention to the abs and the muscle definition. That's cool. Like I said, that's cool, but we're working on the inside and let that work outwards. Cleanse, flush the body, impurities, toxins, where we don't take care of the stomach. The microbiome of the stomach is not helping your body work the way it's supposed to work, right? Detoxing, and that's a totally different thing because people think they're detoxing when they're not. They don't prime their body to detox, and then they're like, detox for a couple of days and go back to eating the same thing. That doesn't make any sense. You flush your body, or you're not even really flushing your body because you're not detoxing correctly. And I do have a free detox masterclass. You could join that, go through that series. You'll understand exactly how to detox and how to do it the right way. Because a lot of people, I'm detoxing. What are you doing? I'm drinking, I'm not drinking sugar. And then you go back, you're not drinking sugar, but then you're eating Pop-Tarts and, stuff like that. And that's, once again, it's a mental trick. You're not actually getting the result. You're playing mind games with yourself so you feel like you're doing the right thing. So what's going on in the stomach? That's what we need to be paying attention to. Eating probiotics, getting your stomach, everything that happens to our body, our stomach is the cause. If you're getting sick all the time, things like that, you need to pay attention to what's going on in here. So, eating high nutrient density foods, adding more protein to your plate, right? Not having a super abundance of carbs. If you're not working out, if you're not super active, if you're eating a ton of carbs and you spend most of your time sitting down, you probably need to reevaluate what's on your plate, right? The carbohydrates, that's really like the main fuel source that our body uses, but also carbohydrates is the only macronutrient that we don't need to survive. If we cut carbs out completely, you would not be malnourished. Now, is it the best idea? It depends on the case, right? And that's why fitness, dieting, all these things are personal. But that's just, as far as on the general sense, the science you know, you wouldn't not need carbohydrates to survive. You could cut it out and you would not be malnourished. Now, amino acids, fatty acid, that you need those things. But like I said, we're not going to get in depth there. I'm just presenting, you know, this case at a broad view, so you understand. Carbohydrates, that's the main fuel source. You know, when we're working out, you know, the muscles, they utilize that for energy and things like that. The glucose stores, you know, all of that. The problem is we eating way more of that, especially simple carbohydrates. We're not even eating complex carbs, right? Simple carbohydrates, abundance of that, and there's no incentive for our bodies to use it, so it gets stored as fat. Reevaluate what's going on your plate. Now, if you do that, cut back on your carbohydrates a little bit, you know, you do have some excess body fat going on, and then you start to exercise, then you start to eat, you start to do little activities like even stretching and things like that, because don't underestimate the ability for your body to burn calories by just doing, you know, regular things. Getting up and stretching throughout the day, you know, moving your knees like that in the office, you know, you're standing at work, you're just doing a little something like that, you know, just move around. And if you're doing that on a daily basis, your body, what's called NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, your body is burning calories from those activities of you're not getting down and doing push-ups in the gym or, you know, anything like that. You're at home, you could, you know, even come here, do stuff like that, you know, just do a couple. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, right? That could, right there, what I just did, that just incentivized my body to burn calories. Right, I can't do push-ups, okay? Come up on your counter. You're about to cook a nice big meal. Before I do that, let me earn that meal, right? Let me do something like, let me do 5. Okay, that's 5 more than I would have done if I did nothing. So just keep that in mind. We're reevaluating our plate, looking for ways to burn energy outside of exercise, but also having a regular good structured exercise routine geared towards muscle building. Cardio, cool, heart health, you know, things like that. Cardio is definitely important, but in relation to burning fat, we're not doing cardio, hours of cardio. We're building muscle, we're doing resistance training. Calisthenics, great way to start. You don't need any equipment, you can do it anytime, anywhere. I just did calisthenics right there, right? High volume, very metabolic inducing, but we want to be doing resistance training. We want to build muscle. We build muscle, it will keep fat off. So 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise. Of course you build up, but you want to be doing resistance training. If you want to burn fat, cardio, the thing that you believe, oh, I gotta go and run miles and get on the treadmill, and that's not true, right? Muscles are they're almost like a liability to it in a sense, because of how much energy that's required to maintain them. So if you have a good amount of lean muscle mass, your body's just burning those calories, it's burning. It needs that energy. So imagine you increasing your body lean muscle mass, the benefit that is giving to your body. You can afford to eat little things that, oh, look, that got some extra calories, but hey, I got that muscle mass, it needs it. So there's so many other components that influence losing fat, but those simple things that require little effort. It definitely requires, I'm not gonna say no effort, but little effort. It's just kind of replacing, you're gonna have to eat anyway, right? So the fact that you have to eat anyway, just clean up your plate a little bit. You're gonna have to eat anyway. So that's almost no effort. Almost. It requires effort, but it's almost done because you gotta eat anyway. Yeah, get into the gym, a little bit more effort, but if you're doing calisthenics, kind of low effort, right? And you need a structure. Don't try and like wing it and be like, yeah, I'm just gonna do random stuff and blah, 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 it's not gonna work. And it might. I'm not gonna, you guys understand what I'm saying in the sense of sustainability and creating real change, the habit change. if you're really serious about making change, structure is necessary. So with that being said, like I said, you want to focus on individualized goals, not what he's doing or she's doing or them or that or whatever. Now we focusing on the individual approach will get you the best results. You got to get sick and tired. You got to get fed up of, being the same for years and years and years, saying you're going to make a change, but things don't change. So before it gets too long, remember, we're on track. 50%, half the population. It's time to make a change, right? If you are interested in making that change and you need help, you need assistance, there will be a link below, or just reach out to me, Twitter, TFJ_Vinny, or Instagram, TFJ_CEO. If you want to have a conversation, let's talk. Let me see how I can help. I definitely know I can. I have programs, my starting fat loss program, muscle building program, everyday athlete program. We do specialize, mainly we focus on helping busy professionals. So if you are a busy professional working 8 or more hours a day, you have a lot of major responsibilities, and you seem like time is very, very scarce for me during the day, and you need to really have a fine-tuned approach. That's what we specialize in. So keep that in mind. Health is wealth, get money, and remember, it is always a warm-up. Do not fall into this statistic. If you are, it is not too late to change. You can make that change, but it's up to you. No one can do it for you. Health is wealth, get money.